At this time, I want to invite any children who are watching online to come forward closer to the screen. And I want to invite, whether you are in person or watching online, if you would like to stand up and join us, we're going to tell a story through actions. And so I'm going to be doing some actions, inviting you to do them along with me if you would like to do so. Our story for today is the story of a book of the Bible called Revelation. That book is all about God's heaven coming down to where we are on earth. So here. So God's heaven coming down to where we are on earth. And the story begins with a man named John. And John, I'm going to take this off so you can hear me better. So John was someone who believed in Jesus. And he's told people, Jesus, this is sign language for Jesus, Jesus is Lord over all of us. And by doing so, he got some people upset because they said the big king in Rome was Lord. And he said, nope, Jesus is Lord. And so they sent him away to a far away island. It was really far. You couldn't even see it from where you were. So let's go to the island where John is. Can you swim with me? Swim, 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 swim. So on that island, John, one night, all by himself, had a dream. So pretend like you're sleeping and dreaming. And in that dream, this was no normal dream. It was a dream special from God. And in that dream, John had some amazing visions of what God's heaven coming down to earth looked like. The dream started with John going up to heaven. And there he was in a big sanctuary, and at the very front of it was a huge rainbow. So can you take your finger and make a big rainbow like this? Big rainbow. And all around that rainbow were different creatures that were very strange. Some had horns. Can you make some horns? Some had eyes all over. Maybe make binocular eyes, but then you can put them all over. They were eyes all over. It was really weird. And then some had wings and flapping and could fly. But these creatures weren't there to worship God with us. Every single day they would come to where God was, and they would sing, and they would pray, and they'd bow down and worship God because God loved them. Well, while John was in that room, all of a sudden Jesus came in. Let's do again sign language for Jesus is this. Jesus had something with him that was really special. It was a scroll. I don't know if you've ever seen a scroll. It's like a big rolled up piece of paper that has lots and lots of words on it. So let's open the scroll like this. This is a scroll. Now this scroll was very special. The scroll was God's plan for all of us. It showed how much God loved us and wanted to heal us. But only Jesus could open the scroll. He had to cut all the seals. So let's pretend like you have some scissors and cut. After he cut it, he opened it up and he read the scroll. And as he opened it and read it, there were big trumpets, 7 trumpets that sounded all around. So can you make a trumpet and go, boo, 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 boo. So we got trumpets and scroll opened. And then Jesus read what was going to happen. And John took it all down. Well, what was happening was something really amazing. First, that Jesus was going to come back here on earth to be with us. And when he did so, he was going to destroy all things that were evil. So maybe get a karate chop. Hiya, all things that are evil. And then all the people who had died before, maybe you have a relative or a family member or a friend who has passed away. All those people who had died before, God surrounded them with love and held them tightly until everything would be made new. And then, after evil was destroyed and God protected those who had died, well, Jesus made the whole world into something brand new. So let's get our hands above. He's got the whole world in his hands, but this is what I like to do for that part. So Jesus came and healed the whole world. And what happened was our world became more beautiful than you can ever imagine. The world became a place where nobody ever died again, where tears were wiped away, where there was delicious water for everyone to drink, and it was better tasting than anything you ever had. Let's try drinking some water. And then in the middle of this new earth where God was this big winding river where people could swim and play, where people could drink free, clear, really nice water. And on the banks of either side of this river were wonderful trees. I don't know if you like to climb trees. You want to climb trees. And at the top of them were all this delicious fruit. Let's take a piece of fruit off and eat it. And that fruit was so, so delicious. And there was enough for everyone. And there was actually new fruit every month, so you never got tired or old of it. It always was something fresh and good and delicious to eat. And everyone lived all together, wherever they were from, all different nations and languages and people came to one place to live together, and they lived in harmony. It was a beautiful, beautiful place. And the best part is that God was there with us. God's light shined so brightly, it was never dark. There was never times where we were scared or alone, because God was always there. So let's close with a big hug. After this dream, John woke up and he wrote it down and he sent it to nearby churches. Message to that Jesus was coming again to make our whole world new. Let's pray. Dear Jesus, thank you for coming. Thank you for your love. Help me to live in love, and help me to know your grace.